Well, hello friends, it is Kate here. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've got another live Pilates class for us, and I'm a little later than usual on my Thursdays because one of my clients, they needed to reschedule, and so I always like to, accommodate my students as much as I can. And when I posted that I was going to do a little bit later, a few other people said that maybe this was a better time for them anyway, so perhaps going forward later in the day is better. We shall see. Anyway, I have got a class planned for us today that's a lot about the upper body. I had a student in my Facebook group recently ask about some thoracic spine stretches. Because of that, I'm going to use a stability ball to do that, one of those kind of squishy little balls. If you happen to have one of those around, you'll be able to get that. If you don't, and you have either a foam roller or you could roll up your mat, you could do the sort of the same thing. But if your thoracic spine, your upper back really wants some big stretches, a little stability ball is a great way to go about that. And then I'm also going to do some nice big stretches for our upper body as well. And I have a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap and you want to grab a towel or a belt, that can be a good one too. It's going to be a nice Pilates Yoga Fusion class. We'll do some stretching, we'll do some strengthening. It's about 1 p.m. in the afternoon for me today, and usually when it's this time of the day, I need to kind of ease myself into it. I've just eaten lunch, so I don't want to immediately jump into the biggest, deepest abdominal work I possibly can. So hopefully, whether it is that time for you or not, you'll enjoy kind of our slow pace into some strength building. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started when you feel ready. So we'll just come to our mat and find a nice, easy seat. You can cross your legs, you could sit more in a kneeling position if you prefer, but just take a moment to check in. Again, maybe it's the middle of the day like it is for you, or like it is for me, or maybe it's a different time of the day, but it's always nice to just notice what we're feeling like at the moment. I'm going to imagine trying to lift my ears up just a little bit higher, broaden across my chest. Let's just take a few big, deep breaths. Eyes can be opened or closed. Inhale. Big breath out. Again, big inhale. Big breath out. One more time. Let it go. Seal the lips together. Breathe through the nose. And just notice, does it feel like you're kind of rocking off your sitting bones, leaning back? Does it feel like we're hunching forward? Could you open up across the chest a little bit more? Eyes can stay closed, but eventually dip your chin to your chest. And let's just start a nice small side neck roll. Roll one ear over. Bring the chin back down. Bring the other ear over. Drop it down. Take that easy little sway side to side, just waking up your body. And I'm just going to forewarn everyone, it is very humid here in Austin currently, and I opened up my windows thinking that it would cool my little room down. Alas, it has just made it really hot. I closed the windows, but I don't like to turn on the AC right when I film because it kind of is loud. So if I look really sweaty in class today, that's probably why. It's very humid in my room at the moment. Lift your ears up a little higher, wrap the tummy in. Let's wake up our shoulders. Roll them backwards. Make it the biggest, deepest circle, shoulder circle you possibly can. And then take it in the other direction, forward. And then let's just pause, and I want you to swim your hands high overhead. Actively reach up to the ceiling. Imagine you're at a playground, you're a little kid, you're holding onto monkey bars, you're just holding there, letting your spine lengthen and stretch. Take a big inhale, push your hands down by your sides. Find a great big breath in, swim the hands high. Exhale, flip the palms, push them down. Again, big inhale, hands lift high. Exhale, bring them down. Now this time, reach both hands up to the sky and pause. And I want you to grab hold of your opposite elbows. Now, depending on the length of your arms, you might be pushing your forearms into your head a little bit if you've got shorter arms like myself. I'm going to turn this way just so you can see me a little bit better. I want you to pull your elbows away from one another and try to push the forearms up to the sky. Notice, did you just splay the ribs at all? Can you kind of wrap them in? Take a big inhale. And a little stretch over to your right, fanning open your ribs. Lift both hands high or both elbows high, and then same thing to the other side. Lift up, push your forearms up to the sky again. Take the hands up and then grab with the opposite hand in front, opposite hand behind. If you really did not pay attention, it's certainly not the end of the world. Pull the elbows away from one another. Almost push your forearms up to the sky without letting the shoulders rise. And then take your little side stretch over from one side to the other. Let that go. Let your hands dangle down in your lap and just take a moment to notice, how are we feeling? Already maybe a little more open, I hope so. And again, let's roll our shoulders backwards 3 times or so. Maybe you noticed a few little popping spots or sticky places. Take it in the other direction. 3 times other way. And then pause. This time, reach both hands straight out in front of you, palms facing down to the ground, almost push down into an imaginary table. And from here, I want you to drop your right hand lower than your left. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug. I'm going to try not to smash my mic, so I apologize if there's any funny noises. But try to stack the elbows if you can. Push your elbows forward. And all I want us to do from here is open up from behind the chest and then bring it back. I'm poking my elbows forward. I'm poking them back. But really what I want you to concentrate on is the movement in your shoulders, making space between the shoulders and then almost kissing or pinching the tips of the shoulder blades together. And I'm going to do something a little unusual. I'm going to get up and come closer to the camera on our second side so you can see if that helps. Pause. Take both hands out. Now drop left hand lower. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug. Hold right there. You can already start to poke forward, but I'm going to stand up. See, I've got both elbows stacked. And then we'll start that movement. And it's really about my shoulders making space behind me and then wrapping in. I make space behind me and then I wrap in. Maybe that close up can give you a little more detail for your own body. Once or twice more, just like that. And then pause, let it go, shake it out. Notice how we're feeling, maybe a little bit more open already. Now, if you have a yoga strap or a TheraBand or a towel or a belt, something to hold on to that can be kind of nice for our upper body as well. Start with your hands pretty wide, wider than your body, and rip your band apart. Pull the shoulders back, lift out of the waist, and take both hands nice and high. We might immediately feel a stretch here, just pushing the hands straight up to the sky. All I want us to do is take a big deep inhale. Exhale, try to push the hands back behind your head. Bring them forward. Now, I like to remind everyone we're all very different. Everyone has significantly different ranges of motion. And I really like to point out to people when I start to do big shoulder stretches, I am an aerialist. If you did not know that, I climb on silks, on hammocks. I do a lot of aerial yoga in-person classes. And because of that, I have pretty flexible shoulders, so I can push them very far back. And if you cannot, it's okay. Push the hands back and see if you can pause. Lift your ears up higher. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, can you cactus your arms? Just bend the elbows and punch your hands back up to the sky. Now, if you have a little less range of motion than me, the yoga strap or whatever you're holding on to might be kind of knocking into your head. That's okay. That's why we've got something soft in our hands. Now, the next time that you bend your elbows like a cactus, can you keep it there? Push your elbows further back behind you. Reach your sternum a little further forward. Take a nice big inhale and a little twist to your right. Inhale, look forward. A little twist to your left. look forward. Take the hands up and overhead. If our grip needs a break, you can take it, but otherwise, let's see if we can do a rainbow stretch. Now, if you cannot take the hands all the way back behind you, or if you get to a spot and it feels like you have to all the way back, and just pause. It's more about that fluid movement. You can also separate your hands more, and you'll have a little more range of motion to work with. Back and forth just a couple of times. Now I want you to lift your band over your head again. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see me a little bit better. It's almost like this is no longer a band but a rod, so I can't take my hands together. I'm going to keep pulling the band apart, never letting the hands come closer than what they are right now. Can you make kind of a diagonal angle over your head? So I'm going to take my right hand a little bit forward and my left hand a little bit back. It's like my right arm is punching towards the right corner of my room, and the left arm is punching to the back left corner. Pull the band apart here, and all I want you to do is kind of slide the hands forward and back. We call this shoulder flossing. It's kind of like you're flossing in between your shoulder blades. This may or may not feel good in your body. The next time you punch the hands back, you might pause. You might even lean back a little bit, opening up to the front of the body, and then come back up. Hold there, shake anything out if you need to. You can give yourself a little wiggle, and then hands lift up high again. Take your right hand back, your left hand forward, or vice versa if you did the other side, and then lean back, lean the hands forward. Just back and forth at your own pace. And again, if we want to, you might send the hands back, and you might really lean back and enjoy that lovely big stretch to the front of the body, and then just let it go. Excellent. Let's set our yoga strap, our little band down. Shake out the fingers, and in fact, let's clasp our hands together and roll the wrist around. Sometimes when we hold on to our yoga strap, our TheraBand, our hands can get a little tired. Circle them in the opposite direction, and then just shake them out. Once more, sit up tall, sit up straight, broaden across the chest, swim your hands high overhead. Once more, actively reach up to the sky, grab your elbows, and pull them away from one another. Did you just splay your ribs or arch your back? Can you wrap them in? Can you lift higher out of the waist? Let's stretch to our right. Come on back up. Stretch to your left. Come on back up. A little different, unravel the hands, drop your right hand down, lift your left hand higher, lean over to your side. Really open up, extend through your side body. Are you looking down to the ground, kind of letting your shoulder collapse, or can we stack both one on top of the other? Flip your palm so it's facing towards me or away from your face. Bend your elbow like a cactus again. Push elbow and hand back and point your nose to the sky. Take a big sip of air in. Big breath out. Straighten the arm, look forward. Take a nice, easy forward fold. Nod the head, yes. Shake it, no. Roll yourself up. Both hands lift high. Same thing, other side. I drop my left hand, I lift my right hand high, and I lean over. Now, sometimes I really let my opposite elbow fall to the floor. Sometimes it feels better to keep it straight. I'm okay with whatever feels good for you, as long as your chest is open. We're really thinking about finding that space through our side body. Flip the palm, cactus the arm, push elbow and hand back, and look up to the sky. Take a nice big inhale. Big breath out. Straighten, look forward. Take your forward fold. Roll yourself up to a nice tall seat. Hopefully we're already feeling a little bit better. Now again, if we happen to have a little stability ball, I'm going to show us a nice big upper body stretch. If you don't have a ball, you can either grab a foam roller or you can roll up your mat right now. And regardless of if you're going to use the ball, or let me grab my foam roller right here, I'll show both. If you've got the foam roller and not the ball, you'll simply take your foam roller underneath your shoulder blades, hands come behind the head, and lean back. You can do that with a rolled up yoga mat as well. If you have the ball like me, again though, I'm going to bring it right underneath my shoulder blades, hands behind my head, and recline back. If you happen to have a little stability ball at home like this, I like to encourage my students to leave it near their TV. And if you've been sitting hunched over at your desk all day, this feels so good to me at the end of the day. We might take a little sway side to side. You might even curl up and down a couple of times, and it'll look like we're going to do some big Pilates crunch, but it's not about the tummy muscles. It's more about just moving through the body. Now eventually just pause for a moment, enjoy that great big stretch. Friends, if you don't have one of these at home, we're not staying here too long, so don't worry. And again, if you've got the foam roller underneath you, it's kind of a more intense stretch. And it's definitely more of a massage underneath your shoulder blades than the ball is. Both are great. They're both just a little bit different. Now, if you have the foam roller or your yoga mat you're using to prop up your upper body, go ahead and take that out and away and just lie on your back. If you have the ball like I do, we can keep it here for this next little guy. So regardless of if you have a ball behind your back or you're lying flat on the back, I do want your hands behind your head like mine are now. I want your elbows nice and wide, and I want you to start to curl your head and chest up. Now, for those of us that happen to have a ball, take a moment and notice if you're arching your back or not. Even if you don't have a ball, we should not be arching our back. We are going to eliminate that. Push your low back down into the mat. For some of my students that have a lot of neck issues, when we go to do a curl up or a little Pilates crunch, this tiny little ball can be just the medicine your body needs. It sometimes gives you just a little support to start to curl the head and chest up while relieving some of that neck tension. For those of us that do not have it, it's a little bit more work for our tummy muscles. Both variations are great. There's nothing wrong with either. I'll keep demoing with the ball. If you need to set your head down at any point, that's okay. Low back is touching your mat. Elbows are nice and wide. Take a big inhale. Exhale, can you try to lift your shoulders off the floor or ball just a centimeter higher? Take a big inhale. Exhale, pick up your right leg. Set it on the ground. Exhale, pick up your left leg. Set it on the ground. Just a slow little march of your legs. Nothing too big, nothing crazy. Concentrate on keeping the low back touching the floor. If you've got the ball behind your back might not actually be touching the floor. It's just that goal of reaching your lower back, your sacrum, down towards the mat, making sure we're still actively turning on our tummy muscles. Let's just do one or two more. Beautiful. Let's say last set. Last one. Both feet to the floor. Lower your head and chest back. If you still got that ball behind you, you can just let the elbows open. Take a little sway, take a little wiggle. Now, if you have the ball, move it away and let's all lie flat on our back. Low back touching, chest open. Take your hands a little away from your body and actively push your palms into the floor. Roll the shoulders open. Feel all of that space we've created from our lovely little stretch at the start of class. Stomp into your left foot to reach your right leg high. Now, let's just flex and point the toe a few times. There can be a little bend in your knee. That's absolutely okay. Circle the ankle around. Circle it in both directions. And now flex the foot, pause, push the heel to the sky. Push your left heel down into the floor. Feel all of those lower body muscles stabilizing, holding. 5 times, I want you to drop your foot down in line with your opposite thigh. Exhale, kick it up. Drop the heel down, exhale, kick it up. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Now, if we can, drop it a little bit lower. If you just want to stop at that spot that's in line with your opposite thigh, that's okay. But if we happen to be able to take the leg a little lower, that's great too. 2 more. Last one. Lift up and pause. Point your toes, stretch it to the sky, turn on all of the muscles in your leg, really grow up. And let's find some little circles of our lifted leg. Notice as you're circling, are you letting your opposite knee wiggle wobble? Can you keep it still? Can you stomp down into the floor there? Pause, reverse your circles. Notice if you're letting your chest, your sternum kind of cave in. We're preventing that. We did all that stretching to start off with. Hold it there. Pause, navel in, point the toe up. Again, give the foot a flex. Drop it all the way down as low as you can. Exhale, kick it right back up. Drop it all the way down. Exhale, kick it right back up. 3 more down and up. 2 more down and up. Last one, lift, pause. Again, point the toe, reach it to the sky. Turn on all the muscles in your leg, little circles. See if you can keep your opposite knee so still, so steady. Notice if your hips are trying to hula dance, no wiggle wobbling. Pause, reverse. Navel in, chest open, maybe a beautiful smile on your face because we love tiny circles so much. And pause. Set the foot on the floor. Immediately push down into the floor with your right leg as we lift our left toe up. Start with some nice big flex and pointing of your ankle. Maybe we notice one side feels a little more stiff, a little more tight than the other. My calf muscles happen to be quite tight today. I'm not really sure why. I guess I went on a little bit of a walk yesterday. Circle the foot around. Although I go on a walk most days, I don't know why they would be as sore as they are today. Who knows? Bodies can be a mystery sometimes, even to me. Circle the opposite direction. And then pause, flex the foot, push it to the sky, pull the toes to the kneecap. Again, if there's a bend in the knee, that's okay. If you can really stomp, push it up, that's awesome too. Now let's just start by bringing it down to the opposite thigh. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Take it down and up, down and up. Last time. Pause. Push the foot higher, flex the foot. And then if we have the range of motion to go a little lower, that's great. If you want to keep your leg a tiny bit smaller, that's awesome too. 3 more. 2. Last one. Lift it up, pause, point the toe, extend it to the sky, turn on all the muscles in the leg, circles. Really extend your foot straight up to the sky, like I am physically pulling your ankle all the way up. And then reverse. Are you stomping down into your right foot? Is your right knee wiggle wobbling or is it so still? And hold, flex the foot again. Drop it down, exhale, lift it up. Drop it down, exhale, lift it up. You can go a little faster or slower than me. Once more, if your knee is bent, that's okay. As long as our muscles are active, that's what's more important to me. Last time, lift and pause. Point your toe, extend it to the sky, hold it there, and then begin some lovely little circles. No hurry, no rush. And then pause, reverse your circles. Cinch your waist, feel your low back continue to touch the mat, and then pause. Take a big inhale, set the foot on the floor. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Knock the knees together. Take a nice big windshield wiper, side to side. If you get a few pops in your low back, I do too. Come back to your starting place. Low back into the mat. Chest open. Pick up your right leg. If we can, pick up the left leg too. If that's too much, you set it right back down on the floor. That's a-okay. We can focus just on our right side. Now your toes can be pointed, flexed, or soft, but I want you to straighten your right leg away. Did your back just arch? Can you push it lower into the ground? Take a big inhale. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, straighten the leg away. Exhale, pull it in. 3 more away. Cinch your waist, return. 2 more away. Cinch the waist, return. Last one. Bring it in, pause. Left side. So like I said, if it's too much to have your opposite leg hanging out in our little tabletop, our little chair pose, whatever you want to call it, you could just have it touching the floor. It's a wonderful modification. Let's do 2 more away and in. Last time away. Bring it in, pause. Navel in, chest open. Straighten your right leg if you can. That feels weird to have one leg straight, one leg bent. That's okay. You can set the foot on the floor. Now this time, drop the foot down. Exhale, cinch your waist, lift. Drop your foot down. Exhale, cinch your waist, lift. 3 more down and up. 2 more down and up. Last one. Lift, pause. Bend your right leg. Straighten your left leg. Again, you can flex, you can point, you can be soft. Take the leg down as low as you can. Exhale, kick it up. Take the leg down nice and low. Exhale, kick it up. 3 more down and up. 2 more down and up. Last one. Lift, pause. Bend both knees. Try to squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. If there's some separation between your inner thighs, certainly not the end of the world. Great big breath. Exhale, wrap the tummy in. Keep your chest open. Physically push your palms down into the ground. Take a small twist. Reach your knees to the right. Did your left shoulder try to lift off the floor? Can you push it down? Big inhale. Come back to center. Same thing, other side. Exhale, come back to center. Let's just take that nice, easy twist there. Inhale over. Exhale, return. Inhale over. Exhale, return. Once or twice more. No hurry, no rush. Last time to the left. Bring it back center, pause. Touch both feet to the floor, plant your feet into the mat, and take a great big stretch. I'm really pushing down into my heels, imprinting the spine, and enjoying that nice big stretch. Hands down by your sides, shoulders open. Inhale, lift up into your bridge. Squeeze your thigh. Try to push the hips higher, broaden across the chest. Full big inhale. Roll all the way down to the mat. Inhale, tip the pelvis, lift back up, chest stays open. Roll all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, up. Exhale, roll down. This time, lift up and pause. Squeeze your thigh. Try to push the entire pelvis just a little bit higher. Full big inhale. Big breath out. Slowly roll all the way down to the mat. Pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, little squeeze, and circle your knees around. Circle in the opposite direction. Pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a little hug, little squeeze, and take a little rock and roll on the back of the body. Feeling a little silly, that's okay. Come all the way up to a nice, tall seat. Now we're going to work in everyone's favorite, the Pilates C-curve for a little bit. If you happen to have a ball, this is a great place to use it. If you don't, well, you get the extra challenge today. It cracks me up to hear some of my students say that, C-curve is one of their least favorite things or one of the most challenging things. If you did live classes with me and I had all my props around me, I would make you do it with the ball in every single class. But I know not everyone has our ball. I like to take the ball and push it into my low back and slightly lean into it. Sometimes I will point out it will shoot out behind you, in which case you just bring it right back. If you don't have the ball behind you, hands behind the thighs, rock off the sitting bones and round into your Pilates C-curve. As a reminder, our Pilates C-curve is like if we were Glenda the Good Witch. You're inside your beautiful pink bubble. If you sat down, your spine would touch the circumference of the bubble. So we're not in a flat back. We have rocked off our sitting bones, we are pushing down into the ball if you have one. If you've got the ball behind you, I like to imagine I'm just trying to pop it with my sacrum. It's almost that extra kind of oomph to squish it a little deeper, to pull my pubic bone up. If you don't have the ball, that's okay. You can still imagine that it's there. Cinch your waist more. Float your hands away from your thighs, or just one if you need the support. If we have both hands away, trim your waist more. Stomp down into the floor. Inhale, slide your hands open. Exhale, cinch the waist, pull them in. Inhale, slide your hands open. Exhale, cinch, pull them in. 3 more, open. Exhale, close. I tell you, this is my favorite way to do abdominal work. I hear from so many of my students that we get some strain in our neck from doing crunches, and I understand that it's hard to keep that tension out of the neck. When I'm in a Pilates C-curve and I've got the ball behind my back here, I pretty much can't feel this anywhere other than my abdominal muscles. So if you've been on the fence about whether or not to buy yourself a stability ball, I would say this is your moment to hear me say, buy yourself one. They're like 10 bucks on Amazon, and they're one of my favorite things to play with. Last time, open. Exhale, close, pause, take a big inhale, roll yourself up to a seat. Take an easy seat, lift out of the waist, swim your hands high, wiggle the fingers a little bit. Take the hands behind the head, poke the elbows wide, big inhale, twist to your right. Inhale, look forward, twist to your left. Look forward, stretch your fingertips high, give them a wiggle, give them a shake, flip the palms, press them down. We're gonna come back into our Pilates C-curve again. If you thought we were done, we're not. We're gonna be there for just a little bit longer. You have 2 options. If you've got the ball, again, you can place it right by your back and lean back into our small Pilates C-curve. Do you see my shoulders are over the ball? That's great. If you want to make it a little harder, you can move the ball about a handprint away and lean into a deeper Pilates C-curve. My shoulders are still above the ball. If you do not have the ball, here, I'll do it without the ball this time, so those of us that don't have one, I'll feel your pain too. I'm in that deeper Pilates C-curve. If I get here and it's just too much, rise up a little higher. There's nothing wrong with that. Pubic bone is pulling up. It's really like I'm tucking my tail as much as I can. Once more, hands can come away, or we can keep them behind our thighs. Stomp deeper into your left foot. Take a big inhale. Exhale, pick up your right. Set it on the ground. Exhale, pick up your left. Set it on the ground. Just take the nice, easy lift and lower. And by easy, I mean the ease of trying to lift your leg up, making it look easy for yourself. I know it's not easy. It's hard. You guys are doing great. Down. Exhale, lift. Down. Exhale, lift. Big fun challenge. Pick up your right leg. Take a hand behind it. Squish the ball if you've got it. Pretend you're squishing the ball. If you don't, take a big inhale. Pick up your left leg. Can you squeeze the inner thighs together? Can you pull the knees a little closer to your chest? Could you take your hands away? Look at that lovely teaser pose. Come on up to a seat. Both hands lift nice and high. Wiggle the fingers. Like we did at the start of class, grab your opposite elbows. Pull the elbows away from one another. Push the hands higher, or push the forearms higher. Wrap the tummy in. Take a big inhale. Little stretch over to your right. Inhale, lift. A little stretch over to your left. Inhale, lift. Both hands lift high, flip the palms, press them down. I'm going to come to a kneeling position facing you so you can see me a bit better. If you do not want to be kneeling, you can take a cross-legged seat instead. That might feel better in our body. That's okay. If you're in a lovely little kneeling pose like me, hands to the thighs, push down so you can lift up. Broaden across the chest. Take both hands nice and high. Rotate your pinkies towards one another and grow an inch or 2 taller. Drop the right hand down just like we did earlier in the day. Extend it to the sky and begin to stretch over. Like we did, flip the palm, cactus the arm, push elbow and hand back and look up to the sky. Straighten, look forward. Find a forward fold. Roll yourself up. Both hands lift high. Left hand down, right hand high. Big stretch to your opposite side. Stack the shoulders, cinch the waist. Enjoy that lovely side body stretch. And again, flip the palm, cactus the arm. Push elbow and hand back to look to the sky. And then straighten, look forward, forward fold. Roll yourself up one more time, both hands up. A little bit different than before. If we want to, we're going to take more of a full mermaid. I'm going to now push my hips away from my right hand, away from both of my hands, and lean over. Your opposite hip may or may not actually touch the floor. It's okay if it doesn't. Forward fold when you're ready. Roll yourself up, both hands lift high. Opposite hand down, opposite hand high, big side stretch over. Stack the shoulders, navel in. Push the hips away from the body. Find that big, beautiful stretch. Full big inhale. Big breath out. Forward fold. Roll yourself up. Sit tall, sit straight. Now I'm going to keep facing this direction. You can face whichever way you want to. We're going to come to, if you have props in your way, kick them out of the way. I'm going to come to a tabletop position facing you because our legs are going to go more off to the side than back behind us. Now, just like we would, we'll turn this way so we can remind us, no Beyonce booty moments, no arching our back and sticking our tush up. The entire time we're here, I want you to concentrate on lifting the tummy in, opening up across the chest, even though you can't see that. That's what I'm working with. Take your right foot off and away. Now, right now, my spine is straight forward and back. This might be a little more challenging for us than we anticipate, in which case you can crawl a little bit away from your straight leg, so you're at more of a diagonal angle. Both options are perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with either of them. If our hands, if our wrists are tired, of course, we can come down to forearms and do this exact same thing. Take a big inhale. Exhale, knit the ribs together. Open up across the chest. Now another big breath. As you exhale, can you pick up your right leg? Touch it down to the ground. Exhale, pick up the leg. Touch it down to the ground. As you lift and lower the leg, notice if you're bending one or both of your elbows. Can you push the floor away so much that we don't feel the need to bend the elbows? Are you jetting your chin forward to look at me? I'm doing the exact same thing. I promise you can look down to the ground to keep your neck in line and focus on that for the moment. 2 more. Exhale up and down. Last one up. Hold it there. Squeeze your thigh. Cinch your waist. Open up across the chest. Take a big, deep, beautiful breath. If you need to set the foot down, you can. If you want a little extra challenge, can you pulse your thigh up to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Send your hips back to a child's pose. Let your head fall to the floor. You can nod it a little yes and no. And then when you're ready, we've got to do it on our other side. Rise back up to hands and knees. Extend your left foot or the opposite foot out behind you. Again, if you don't want to stay straight on like I am at the moment, you can again kind of curl or reach your body off to the opposite side as the leg. So this is my left leg. I would take a little stretch to the right. No matter where you are though, think about knitting the ribs together, sending your sitting bones to the wall behind you while reaching your ears to the wall in front of you. Full big inhale. Exhale, pick up the foot. Touch it down. Exhale, pick up the foot. Touch it down. Keep going at your own pace. We might notice one side feels totally different than the other. That's okay. We could be very imbalanced. If your leg is not lifting up as high as mine is, that's okay. Certainly not the end of the world. I have some students that find this so incredibly challenging that they don't even lift their leg up, and instead they simply concentrate on turning on the muscles, on imagining they're lifting the leg up. Last time, pick it up, pause, hold, chest open, Belly button in. Can you pulse the thigh up? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Send your hips back. Let your forehead fall. Big inhale. Big breath out. Another big breath. Let it go. Coming back up to a nice kneeling position, hands to thighs, shoulders back. Lift out of the waist, belly button in, both hands swim high. Take the hands behind the head, elbows wide. Now really poke the elbows almost back behind you. Try to lift out of the waist a little bit more and start to look up towards the sky. I imagine lifting my sternum all the way up. Full big inhale. Exhale, look forward. If you feel like there's tension through your lower back, your lumbar area, try to make this next time a little bit smaller. Don't make it this most big, dramatic back bend you can do. Instead, really just focus on the chest opening. Hands again behind the head. The hands are there to support your head. Hopefully our neck feels relaxed, our jaw feels relaxed. You can make a silly face, you can smile. Sometimes that helps me there. Belly button in, elbows wide. Start to tip back a little bit. Really push your sternum up to the sky. Push the elbows nice and far open. Full big inhale. Exhale, come back up. We're going to do our Cobra pose or swan, whatever you want to call it. We'll lie on our tummies. And this is one of those poses as well that oftentimes I hear from my students. We start to feel this more through our lumbar spine, the lower back, when it's more likely than not meant to be about your upper body, your chest, your thoracic spine. But most of us aren't quite utilizing or working our glutes, our hamstrings, and our tummy muscles as much as we should. And instead, we're really just challenging ourselves to lift up as high as possible. So I want to make a big point and say this is not about how high you lift up. In fact, make it teeny tiny at first. Like I always say when we lie on our stomach, push your pubic bone into your mat and squeeze your thigh-butt connection point as much as you possibly can. Hopefully we feel our glutes and our hamstrings kick on. And then imagine trying to lift your belly button up. Your tummy is not actually going to lift off the floor. It's just that feeling of engaging the abdominal muscles. All of those muscles should be engaged anytime we do any kind of prone work, anytime you're lying on your stomach. Now, like we did a moment ago, I want you to start to find a little bit of a stretch across your chest. Roll the shoulders back, push the back of your head up. Don't look up towards me. Instead, look at the front edge of your mat. Is your pubic bone still pressing down? Are you squeezing your thigh? Can you cinch the waist more? Take a big inhale. One vertebra at a time, lower down. Again, inhale, roll the shoulders back. Pull the elbows towards one another and almost imagine poking or pushing the elbows towards your heels behind you. So many of us want to wing them off to the side. I promise you, pushing them back is going to help. Tuck your chin a little bit to your chest. What does that feel like? Pubic bone down, belly button in. You can, of course, use your upper body just a little bit, but really think about the shoulders almost kissing, the tips of the shoulder blades kissing towards one another. One more big inhale. Lower all the way down to the ground. Slide your right hand off to a T. Bend your left leg and take a twist to your right. Ooh, and my back just like popped all the way. So I don't know if you could hear that on camera, or through my mic. If yours did, I hope it felt as good as it did for me. Sometimes it even feels nice for me to lift up my left arm to the sky to try to push the left hand back behind me, or even take a little half bind. I reach my left fingertips towards my right hip. If that does not make any sense to you whatsoever, just keep your hand on the ground. There's nothing wrong with that. Eventually do roll back to your tummy. I have to move my mic so I do not crush it. This time slide your left hand out. Bend your right knee and take your twist in the opposite direction. And this is a great big twist. This is a great big upper body stretch. This is not in the cards for us today. It's okay. No big deal at all. And again, we might lift the hand up. We might push it back behind us if you do not have things in your way like I do. You could take that half bind if you choose to do so. And then when you feel ready and even, roll to your tummy once more. Just bend your knees, take a little windshield wiper, side to side. Roll to your back, gracefully or not at all. One more time, open the feet a little wider, knock the knees together, and take an easy windshield wiper. Pull your knees in, give them a little hug, little squeeze, and then find a great big full body stretch. Reach as long as you can from the tip of your toes through your body out your fingers. Great big inhale, big breath out. And then just find a nice, gentle, relaxing place. Take a few deep breaths and invite a feeling of true pride into your body. Feeling so incredibly grateful, proud, so appreciative of everything your body has done for you today and each and every day. Full breath in, easy sigh out. Pull your knees into your chest when you're ready. Rock yourself up to a seat. As always, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. And I am so excited to have so many people come and join me for class today. I still need to figure out how to I see there are a lot of comments. Hey Tammy, hey Maggie. But yeah, I'm so happy to have so many people join me for a live class today, and I would love to hear if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see next week. Any props, any special places in our body we want to work with. I am always all ears. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Can't wait to see you again. Hope we enjoyed our lovely midday or whatever time of the day class it was. Have a great rest of your Thursday.